Hello, welcome to today's video about maintaining ecosystems and biodiversity. It's really important that biodiversity is maintained, but other factors also have to be taken into account. It's important that we keep biodiversity at a high enough level to make sure that ecosystems are stable. In some areas, programs have been set up by concerned citizens and scientists to minimize damage by human activities to ecosystems and biodiversity. Here are some examples. Breeding programs have been set up to help prevent endangered species from becoming extinct. These are where animals are bred in captivity to make sure the species survives. If it dies out in the wild, individuals can sometimes be released into the wild to boost or re-establish the population. Programs to protect and regenerate rare habitats like mangroves, heathlands, and coral reefs have started. Protecting these habitats helps to protect the species that live there, preserving the ecosystem and biodiversity in these areas. There are programs to reintroduce hedgerows and field margins around fields on farms where only a single type of crop is grown. Field margins in areas of land around the edges of the field where wild flowers and grasses are left to grow. Hedgerows and field margins provide a habitat for a wider variety of organisms that could survive in a single crop habitat. Some governments have introduced regulations and programs to reduce the level of deforestation taking place and the amount of carbon dioxide that's being released into the atmosphere by businesses. This could reduce the increase of global warming. People are encouraged to recycle to reduce the amount of waste that gets dumped into landfill sites. This could reduce the amount of land taken over for landfill, leaving ecosystems in place. Sadly, for noble biodiversity warriors, maintaining biodiversity isn't as simple as you would hope. There are lots of conflicting pressures that have to be taken into account. For example, protecting biodiversity costs a lot of money. Governments sometimes pay farmers a subsidy to reintroduce hedgerows and field margins to their land. It can also cost money to keep watch on whether the programs and regulations designed to maintain biodiversity are being followed. There can be conflict between protecting biodiversity and saving more money. Money may be prioritized for other things. Protecting biodiversity may come at a cost to local people's livelihood. For example, reducing the amount of deforestation is great for biodiversity, but the people who were previously employed in the tree felling industry could be left unemployed, and this could affect the local economy if people move away with their families to find work. There can be conflict between protecting biodiversity and protecting our food security. Sometimes certain organisms are seen as pests by farmers. Locusts and foxes are examples. And they are killed to protect crops and livestock so that more food can be produced. As a result, however, the food chain and biodiversity can be affected. Development is important, but it can affect the environment. Many people want to protect biodiversity in the face of development, but sometimes land is in such high demand that previously untouched land with high biodiversity has to be used for development. For example, housing developments on the edges of towns, or for new agricultural land in developing countries.